So let me go through Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Dan, we'll follow you. Blummel.
Friday, I went over to the other house, and I was building the joists. Uncle Eric came over. We were putting the joists together.
I'm hearing that this is
a complete nightmare. Yes, it is.
Well, I'm hearing that this addition that you're doing to which is originally was your first house.
Yeah.
That lives by Pitbull.
Yeah.
And then once you and Ashley got married, you moved to the suburbs, her house.
Yeah.
Right. And you're now using this house as a rental.
Yeah.
But you're really just a slumlord because you got involved in this addition project while you live there.
Yeah.
And now you've somewhat abandoned it because you don't live there anymore. And then you try to line up Bubba Army to do things for free, and then they don't show up, and it's just a whole big hodgepodge of nonsense. And if I'm lying, those that know, correct me now.
No, and exactly. Even when you try to pay people, they don't show up.
Right.
It took four different people.
You got like this isn't just like, knocking a wall down and, turning a garage into a rec room. This is full-blown having to, pour pilings.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to run electrical and plumbing.
How often do you wish you would have just bulldozed it down and started from zero?
Probably every day I'm there, or just let an electrical fire happen to it.
Oh, Jewish lightning. I'm familiar with that.
Jewish lightning.
Yeah,
That's
my
awesome.
parents would talk about that sometimes.
That's Anna right there.
Can I ask a question about money? Because I'm Jewish. There was actually a deli, probably about 30 minutes from where I lived, and there was a Jewish lightning there.
Mm-hmm. They burned it down for the arts.
I think it was called Herschel's or something, and all of a sudden one day it just blew up.
Right,
Herschel's
was
inside.
probably not doing that well.
Then no one could find Herschel.
So, then Herschel went back to the motherland.
I think he went back to Colombia or something.
So, Lummy, do you often wish that you would have just maybe left the house as is and made it a little bit better with just remodel what you could, but not full blown, additions?
Well, no, because when I first started it, construction wasn't as bad as it is today. And in January, when I finally got it going, I went through 4 concrete guys between retiring, not showing up, maybe possibly one's in jail at this point, and then finally getting one. But it took 6 months. Now we're in the summer, and nobody wants to, from 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Would you not say that, just in the best case scenario, you're probably 2 years away from having this thing complete?
Well, I did talk to some Spanish Mexicanos.
Some Spanish Mexicanos, for those scoring at home.
And when they came out and kind of were working on everything, I could get, if now the trusses are short. And
But they're too short? They don't fit?
No, the trusses are... a lot of companies.
Lummy, you're saying that the trusses that you ordered...
Well, I ordered them. I got them canceled on me from the company. So I've called a couple other companies. Besides the fact that I can't get anywhere, 1 or 2 companies, which are really big ones, told me they'll start taking orders in January. Well, that now pushes everything back if I can't find any trusses. So
yeah. Again, when did you buy this first plot? When did you buy this?
3 years. 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Is this the house that had the weekend bathroom remodel that took 2 months?
Yes.
Yeah. It's still not done.
Yes.
It's not done?
No, the grout needs sealed. And now every day it goes without being sealed. It chips and dries and whatever. Lummy, you could seal the grout. I think you could do that, couldn't you?
Yeah, but at this point, I'd rather just get a professional who I've been trying to pay who hasn't given me a quote yet for the last week.
Again, Dan, that's just to complete the bathroom that was supposed to be completed 2 years ago.
Wow. That's why I'm trying to.
So, Lummy, don't you think? Do you really need that extra
900 square feet at this market? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, buddy. I'm so sorry.
Well, no, at this time.
900 square feet taking, 900 days to complete.
Well, it's starting to go now. Just a couple hiccups here and there. Can't get a stairwell out of my.
Now, so
the house will be.
You've poured the.
You could build it out of sugar cubes and be done before you're going to be done.
Yeah, well, this is Dr.
If
you want to come over
stairwell
and
out
take
of
the
where the house will be
out of my freaking house, I would love you. It's 3 steps, and I think everything in this house was not built.
What issue do you have?
So there's the back steps. There's 3 of them with the little landing. So the front is hollow. Well,
they're concrete.
Yeah, my dumbass thought they were going to be hollow too. They built the back stairwell completely solid of concrete.
Well, you're going to have to get a jackhammer then.
Well, the jackhammer wasn't doing much when I had it. Mm-hmm. So then I got the skid steer to try to just flip it. Well, that's not working. So now it's sitting in the middle of where the house would build. Actually, it's sitting in where the kitchen will be right now. And I took a sledgehammer the last 2 days, and I've gotten probably about 15% of the concrete off. So
Don't they have
I will
those,
be sitting
like-
there doing that for the next month.
Lummy, how can they not have a jackhammer
Well,
that
I
will
get-
go through this? They have jackhammers that'll go through anything.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I got to go rent it, and then it's kind of expensive and a long process. So I will be working on that.
Don't they
And-
have that big jackhammers that go like on the front of a bulldozer that'll
Yes.
do it?
Yeah, I got to get one of those
On the front,
too.
you
then.
mean on the front of a skid steer?
Is that a
Yes.
skid steer?
Right.
Yeah, well, I will be getting one of those hopefully this week or next week. But every time I call someone up or try to get something, they're either out of it or they're 2 weeks from getting it to me. So I decided I was just going to take a sledgehammer to it.
So you finally have the columns poured,
Yes.
and I'm assuming that these columns are what you're gonna have to run plumbing. It's gonna be a kind of a raised above the ground.
Yeah, it's going to match the existing house. I got little
right.
footers
Kind
on
of
it.
like on stilts, kind of is what they call it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because
Those
you're
are-
like in a flood area, right? I mean, that's why they build houses on, up on pilings, because you're, near the river, so to speak,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's
And
the way they used to build
are
them.
all new construction. At least the first floor is like on the new condos and stuff that they're building around there. The first floors are always probably all garage,
Pretty much, yeah.
right? And
Wash
then they
through.
start
No,
what they call
No,
a
not-
wash through.
Not the houses, though.
No,
The
the new
houses
houses
are-
they don't do that
The
anymore.
houses, but the townhomes and condos, they're putting majority
So you're
of it
saying the
second,
reason
third.
why you got to put it on stilts is because the existing house is on stilts, so
Correct.
to speak, and you just can't lay this one down on the,
Yeah.
you got to match it.
Yeah, correct.
A lot of why the old houses are on stilts is for airflow
That's true, too.
because they didn't have air conditioning
Yeah,
back
because
then.
we have the wood floors and they have the floor through it.
Right. Lummy has a house that never had air conditioning
Yeah.
in the 20s. Is this built in the when was this?
1923. It's an old school bungalow.
Right.
Well, they built the concrete stairs really good.
Now, do you think you're gonna, are you gonna flip this thing eventually, or I mean, are you now down because you bought it high and it's now?
I didn't buy it high. I bought it at a good price. I mean,
Just rebuilding it high.
I mean,
Yeah.
could you just sell it, or do you
I
want to
could
try
sell
to
it
see
now.
it through?
I'm going to see it through, and then we'll probably
What's the
live there.
completion date? 2025.
2026.
For real, like you've had it for 3 years. How long do you think it's going to take to? I mean, because you're not the trussing that you got's messed up. I don't even know that you got trussing.
I don't.
So did you measure the trusses and were they the right measurement, or did they just send something that was
No,
too
so what
short?
the thing
No,
is,
no, no.
so there's so
did
many.
Iggy do the measuring on the truss? I'll tell you, it's messed up right now.
27 times. No, the problem is that there's so many like domain homes and all these home companies that have contracts. I got jumped like 10
Yeah,
times.
Dan, when he says they're short, he means they don't have enough, not that they're actually physically short.
Oh, I
okay.
thought like he needed something that was like 30
Yeah,
feet
like
and
they're
6
short.
inches, and it was
Yeah,
30
no,
feet
no.
and 3 inches.
Short meaning they just don't have it.
Oh,
Or I got jumped because obviously they have contracts.
Oh,
with
you got
the-
jumped all right.
Oh, I
mentally.
got jumped easy.
Right.
I have
I
a
thought he-
small job that they just jumped.
Now, do you have a general contractor, or is this you doing it all?
It's me.
Right.
I have a new guy. See, a couple of them took
All right,
other jobs.
slow down.
I know. I just get really worked up.
Isn't
on
there a
this.
TV show where they have the situation, they come in and rescue it, where someone kind of tries to do a remodel and they get in over the head
Yeah,
and
well-
just spin out and they come in and they save the day?
That's all special interest. Like we could get Lummy signed up for that. They were like, please.
I bet he could. Tried hard enough.
He's trying with Big Red and all of his hookups and stuff. It's taken. It's just again, Lummy. It's a lot of work. Like if you hired like a full blown remodel generating contract, it'd probably take them 3-4 months with a crew of 8 guys.
Well, that's what
to
I
get
was.
this
I was
done.
speaking to the Mexicano, and as long as I can get the trusses, and I got the plumbing and electricians easy because they don't like to do that anyhow. But he said he could probably put all the walls up and the roof up in about a week and a half. He'd get like 10 of his guys out there, and they'd have it up.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to have your HVAC. You're gonna have to have your walls built. You're
That's
gonna
what they
have to
do.
have you're gonna have to have your electrical done and your plumbing done. You're gonna
Yeah.
have to get it all roughed in.
Oh, yeah,
Who's
no.
doing all that?
Well, the electrical, the walls and everything they do. The Mexicanos. I have an electrician who's really good and a plumber that's really good. That they were just waiting for me to get some walls up at this point. But I mean, I was working on the joists over the
I
weekend.
mean, you haven't even got the concrete steps removed yet, buddy. That's how screwed you are.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a process. It is. I mean, if you want to come over, Bubba, and hit the sledgehammer a couple times.
Please.
Do you recommend not starting a building project right now, Lummy?
Oh yes, I would not recommend it unless you are a big time housing company.
Again, Dan said there's big time housing companies over by his dad's house that have, that are multi-$10 million corporations that, buy houses for a couple million, tear them down, put $1 million in them. Like that big time where they got full blown construction crews and stuff, and those guys are pulling off of jobs
Yeah,
That's
there's
how
also
bad construction is.
there's also guys in that same neighborhood though that are building houses and like within 2 weeks they're going from 0 to a full house.
Yeah.
Right. That's not
Exactly.
Lummy's case.
No, not at all. Because I feel like every one of my guys are going to those job sites and not my job site.
Well, yours is like a little jabroni one-off. They can really, they're dealing with real legitimate people here.
Oh, of
That'll
course.
pay
Yeah.
them and stuff.
Yeah,
you know, on
exactly.
time.
That's how I've lost almost all my guys, is that they all jump over to a better, a
better paying
job
gig,
site.
right.
Exactly.
So the only way to get something like reliably built would be to go with a giant company to do it, not a small company. Is that what you're saying? Because they have the clout
Or
to get
for
the
him
resources.
or for him
Yes.
to just to keep doing it and expect, maybe perhaps a 4 or 5 year deal.
Yeah.
Jay and I were talking about a little project, maybe. So.
You and Jay are going to do a little project?
Well, we were looking at this garage that this guy was selling, and
Where? Over by you guys?
yeah, and the same guy that heckled me about my license plate,
Right?
and
So
Jay's
he's
like,
got a garage.
right on some property on McDill, and it's really nice. It's well done, and he wants a lot of money for it. And Jay's like, you know what? I could just actually put a structure on the back of your property, and we can, I'll pay for the building. You supply the land, and we'll have the garage that we want
Yeah.
for a fraction of the price.
Absolutely. And it's going to help the resale value
Right.
of your house. It's not going to hurt it.
Exactly. And so
If it comes with a 8-bay, all-purpose garage, like how many bays would you guys go? 4 to 6
4 to 6, double high, and double deep.
with car lifts?
Probably a couple.
Right.
And
you
maybe
don't really-
like a car wash station with like that pressured water
Yeah.
and like purified water,
Yeah.
so it doesn't have the spots.
Right.
Swiss Tracks flooring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whole nine
and
yards.
then maybe like a
Little bar.
even a little bar, game room,
Yeah.
kind of man cave kind of deal, right?
So I guess the lesson I learned this morning is not to have Lummy be the GC on it.
Oh no, you guys will hire. Steve will get.
Yeah.
And that land behind
keep
the
Lummy so far away from
It'll
everything.
be an invisible garage.
that land behind the carriage house you don't really use that much, do you?
No, it's just sprinkled, and
Yeah.
the kids play back there sometimes. But I'm talking
Yeah,
about
but
just
I
to the
mean-
right, where the cement wall is to the
Yeah.
right, and I run it down to the street. I mean, it could be a really amazing building. Add to the property
that would be
value. It'd
so
be very
awesome.
helpful.
Yeah, I mean, like build a really super kick ass, all poured concrete. Again.
Sturdy, yeah. It would have to be, something that we could leave the cars in there if there's a storm.
Yeah, brick.
I don't know if I'd go brick. They probably go pole barn.
Pole
Wouldn't you?
barn.
Well,
like a steel building, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, it's something
I mean,
we just
how
are agreeing
expensive
upon.
bricks? Oh, you mean maybe block?
Yeah, it
I
would
mean,
probably
That's
be
what I meant,
block with
block.
maybe a brick facade that was. I want it to look like it belongs close to the house, not
So, like-
necessarily matching perfectly, but doesn't like contrast with it too much.
right. So you'd have to go block with like a brick fascia kind
Yeah,
of
like a brick fascia, but modernize it a little bit. So it'd be like a modern, but still have the same colors.
That's going to cost you $2 million. Oh,
No way. No way. I think
I
it'll-
guess that's right. You're not doing big fancy fixtures and stuff like that. You're doing
right,
and you're
and
building a garage.
and we already got the land, so I think we can probably do it for maybe 300. You think no way?
It's double that if you would have done it right. That still ain't nothing.
Well,
Jay
it's
said
significant.
he's got that back of his pocket, $600K.
His wallet.
eight bay power washing station with a man cave and a nice turnaround.
Put a
that would
sim
be
in there,
nice.
racing sim, and
Oh yeah, it'd be super nice.
that'd be cool.
It'd take the place of the carriage house then,
Right,
right?
exactly.
Because that's what you use the carriage house for.
Right, it's just a mini. It's a
Little
mini
mini man
custom
cave.
garage. Right.